Hello, MCU fans! So, Marvel just dropped the Fantastic Four soundtrack. There's 25 total tracks, and there is a lot to learn from these. So, let's dive right in and see what we can find out. Don't forget, we have a July contest running all month long. Be a subscriber, leave a comment, and you could win a book or a steelbook. Best of luck. And we have a membership option with lots of cool perks, so you might check it out in case you're interested. Plus, hang around to the end of the video, and I'll talk about the Doomsday Countdown Watch on the Discord. All right, so as I mentioned, there are 25 songs on the official soundtrack for the movie. So I'm not going to read through all of these because instead, we're going to take them one at a time and see what they might reveal about the movie. So, track number 1, Fantastic Four First Steps main theme. That's probably during the opening credits. That one's pretty clear. Notice 4 minutes and 10 seconds. All right, track number 2, we jump right into Sue being pregnant. Pregnancy testing 1, 2, 3. So that's definitely when we have the jokes about you're late, which turns out to them realizing she's pregnant. And of course, that is going to change everything because they're technically now going to become the Fantastic Five. All right, so then we move to track number 3, Fantastic Four First Cue. Notice that it's 5 minutes and 34 seconds, so it seems to be happening during random scenes in the movie, such as Ben rescuing the ship and then hanging out with the stray doggy. All right, track number 4 is Herald Today, Gone Tomorrow, which is definitely the Silver Surfer arriving, the Herald of Galactus, and might even be used during this moment that Johnny has with the Surfer. So track number 5, Out to Launch. I think now the Fantastic Four have been warned about the coming of Galactus, so they're taking off in their ship to go and try to bargain with Galactus. Track number 6, A Galactic Case of the Munchies. I think that's when they approach the planet where Galactus is, and notice his ship is turning the planet into a form of energy that he can consume. All right, so track number 7 is Bow Before Me. Nice play on words there. And that's when they're going to Galactus to try to convince him to spare the Earth. But as we see from the trailers, what does he want? Well, he ends up asking for their child. So basically, give me Franklin or, I'm destroying the Earth. So they definitely decide they need to get out of there. Track number 8 is The Light Speed of Your Life as they're booking away from the ship. And that leads to track number 9, Nothing Neutron Under the Sun, a playoff of Nothing New Under the Sun, obviously, where Johnny then, I think, is shooting at the Silver Surfer. I absolutely love these shots. So she's trying to pursue them to get Franklin, and they're trying to get away. So that leads to track number 10, Starship Birth. That's when Sue is now giving birth on the ship. And of course, we've seen in the trailers little baby Franklin. So yeah, she does give birth in space. Then that leads to track number 11, Spantastic Voyage. I think that's when Reed's saying, trust me. And boy, are they going to have to trust him, because my guess is they're heading into a wormhole or a black hole. In fact, number 12 is The Bridges of Silver Surfer County, which is a play on The Bridges of Madison County, famous book and movie. But like I say, I think they're using a wormhole or a black hole to get away from the Silver Surfer and return to Earth. All right, so track number 13 is A Mole in Your Plan. All right, so if you watched my video that was a breakdown of the tie-in comic, you know that the Mole Man simply wants to be left alone, right? He wants the right to exist and even goes before the United Nations in the comic and pretty much makes peace with everyone. So I think that's why in the trailers, we're seeing everyone hide underground when Galactus comes to Earth. In fact, track number 14, A Walk in the City. That's Galactus taking a stroll through town. Look at him. He looks so massive. And notice he's heading towards the Baxter building there in the distance, but along the way just casually crushes a building with his fist. That's just so funny. Going to be awesome. Cannot wait to see him in action. All right, so track number 15 and 16 are really mysterious. 15 is The Other Sue Drops, and 16 is Don't Sue the Baby. So clearly Sue has something to do with either rescuing Franklin or maybe setting up a deception to trick Galactus, because there's no way they left Franklin just being protected by Herbie. I mean, I love you, Herbie, but no, that didn't happen. In fact, the next track is Without Further Ado, which my guess is that's Sue and Franklin booking away in the car here, and I say that because the next track is Car Seat Drivers. So I think that's referring to baby car seat, which implies that maybe Franklin's in the back of the car, and that's why Galactus is chasing after Sue. And then we see Sue taking off into the air, trying to get away. I think she's using her powers to escape, because look at that, that's Galactus's fist trying to grab the car. All right, so then we move to track 19, Fantastic Four to be Reckoned With. I think this is playing while the Fantastic Four are battling Galactus. We got Reed Richards with this giant energy rod that he jams into Galactus, and Galactus tries to crush him with his hand. That's craziness. The Thing shouting, light him up, Johnny, as Johnny does exactly that. We see Sue using her powers, and probably this is where we finally get Ben to say it's clobbering time. What time is it, Ben? He's like, no, say it, say it. shouts Johnny. So yeah, that's going to be epic as he says it right as he decks Galactus. Okay, so track 20 is called the Galactus Silver Surfer Suite. Notice that it's 7 minutes and 24 seconds, so I think this is kind of just a compilation of the theme song playing whenever Galactus and the Surfer appear. And it does raise the question, what role does the Surfer play in the final battle? So is she now helping them? Can't wait to find out. Okay, so then we get to track 21, Tripping the Lights Fantastic. That could be this scene we saw from the trailers where the lights all go out, but I think it's probably this scene where they're using something, some type of device here to maybe teleport Galactus away, or maybe even teleport the Earth away from Galactus. We're going to have to wait and find out, but I think this is probably part of the final battle of the movie. Okay, so then we move to a couple tracks that I don't think are in chronological order with the movie and are probably interspersed throughout. So this one is the Fantastic Four Power Hour. Notice it's called the cartoon theme. I think that's a play off of the Marvel Action Hour, of which part of that hour was a Fantastic Four cartoon, and I think that's going to tie into the fact that people were trying to get him to say clobbering time, and Ben says, no, that's just in the cartoon. So definitely, we're going to see this cartoon in the movie. So track 23 is the Ted Gilbert Show, which I think that's appearing much earlier in the movie, probably kicking off the entire movie. And then we get to track 24. Okay, this one is crazy. So it's called Let Us Be Devoured. Notice the artist is Andrea Datzman. I hope I'm saying her name right. And she's done some other things for Disney, including Inside Out 2 and tie-ins with the Up movie. But we have got to look at these lyrics because they are crazy. All right. She's singing this. I look to the night sky filled with endless stars. It somehow feels like home away from here. I feel it in my bones at every hour, though my roots are firmly planted here. Were we once a shooting star that blazed the sky, shattered into tiny specks of dust? Longing for some wholeness we cannot describe, we're here, starving for comfort, starving for peace. Let us be whole. Let us be devoured. Grace is in your power, mighty tower. Take away our pain. Let us be devoured today. Wow. Okay, so that's just verse 1. There's one more short verse to go. But notice the theme here. It's basically, my roots are planted here on earth, yes, but I feel like the stars are my home away from home, that there's a wholeness that I can't describe. And sure enough, the mighty tower, Galactus, you can solve this for me. Devour us. Take away my pain. Basically, devour me and send me to where I really belong. And we're going to see it even more with verse 2. Verse 2 says, separate minds and separate hearts in separate cars, believing we're all different seeds. We have long forgotten how we came from far, grown from that same sacred cosmic tree. Oh man, that really makes you think of Loki's tree, right? And then again, we're starving for comfort, starving for peace. Let us be whole. Let us be devoured. Grace is in your power, mighty tower. Take away our pain. Let us be devoured today. Oh, my word. So here's everything. Man, so do I think there are actually going to be people in the movie who want Galactus to kill them and send them into the cosmos to be one with the stars? No, but maybe. I mean, that would be really wild if there were people literally saying this type of theme in the movie. But I do think this is cool, how it's almost implying there are people that maybe somewhere in their deepest heart are like, yeah, I want to be devoured. That's going to send me to where I really belong to be. Just crazy, crazy, right? Well, good news, the final track, track 25, is much simpler. Herbie's Lullaby. It's by Matthew Wood. He's the one that's creating the beeping noises for Herbie. And I think it's just reflective of the fact that, yeah, Herbie is going to be a wonderful nanny for little baby Franklin. So it'll be interesting to see where this appears in the movie, but maybe even while he's building the crib. So, okay, there you go. Those are the 25 songs on the official soundtrack for the movie. Do you think I placed them correctly? I think they really do fit well with these scene groupings that I've been talking about in all my trailer breakdowns. But one way or another, we're going to find out in just a few short days how all of this fits together, because it is right around the corner and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So let me know your thoughts. You know I love to read and respond to everything. And don't forget, we have that July contest. Be a subscriber, leave a comment, win a book or a steelbook. And there's the membership option in case you're interested in that. And I always love to mention the Discord. Here we are talking about that soundtrack. Thank you so much, Miss Shuri, for posting this. And I promised I would talk about the Doomsday Countdown Watch. Every day listed here at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll watch a different movie or show as we lead up to the December 18th, 2026 release of Doomsday. So we have 2,300 members across the globe, conversations 24/7, and I'll leave a pinned comment so you can join. Also, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out more content, and we'll all continue to enjoy the ever-growing, the ever-changing Marvel Cinematic Universe.